This fascinating pickup truck model from Tamiya is truly a go-anywhere, anytime off-road vehicle and was engineered with the hobbyist in mind. Simple, educational, and fun to construct and operate. The 3-speed servo-controlled transmission comes factory assembled and tested and was designed for years of rugged use.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to finally have a look at this thing. Now, I say this thing, it's a bit more than a thing. This is a 1981 Toyota Hilux from Tamiya, and it is possibly the rarest Tamiya I've ever owned. I mean, well, it might not be. It's certainly the rarest Tamiya I've ever taken out for a run. Obviously, I had the Lamborghini and the Porsche. They weren't complete, they weren't running, and I got rid of them relatively quick because they were no use to me. They would have just been sat on the shelf incomplete, whereas this was complete-ish. I got it running and took it out. Now I've split this video up into 3 bits for you, just to try and keep everyone happy. The first bit, I'm going to have a quick look over the Hilux. I'm going to show you what I've done to it to get it running, because it wasn't all that straightforward, and I'll show you the different bits and pieces on it. The second bit will be pretty raw run of it, where I took it out. And then the last bit, everyone's favourite, not, just a little bit more cinematic with a bit of music and try and get some cool shots of it. Probably, although not as nostalgic, much better than the original advert, although back in 1981 the original advert was pretty cool. Anyway, let's have a little talk about it. And I did break it. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to it. So in 1981, when Tamiya brought this out, there was nothing else really like it. Oh, I mean, I was only, what, 2 in 1981, so it's not from my own experience, I know that, but what else can you remember, if you're old enough, that was out in 82 that was as cool as this and as well engineered as this? Probably some static models out there, but certainly radio control, I have not seen anything like this. Now, it's quite important with these that you take the rear bed off first, then you take the top cover off of the radio box. This has got one of the tabs broken off, it should have 2. And then you can get the cab off. Here's the cab. Obviously a licensed body, you've got the Toyota emblem on there. This one has been restored, and you can see that the decals look like new ones, like reissued ones. You can just tell by the condition of them or the print quality of them they're not original. Underneath you can see it's probably had a little bit of repair work there. There's some other marks there, and it has got LEDs in where it obviously had lights at some point as well. Little dude in there driving, he's pretty cool. And I really like the rear cab. I like these big arches on here, really good. Nearly everything on this is metal. Metal bumper, metal chassis, the drivetrain's all metal. There's a few little bits of plastic, the electronics box there, the rear bed there, but I'd say, I guess 90% of this is metal. Like I said, really well engineered for 1981. This big box of tricks is what they called I'm sure I've seen it written as an electronic speed control. It's not really an electronic speed control. I'll put a picture up now. It's got 3 like micro switches in it. I can't remember what they call it actually. It's probably written underneath. I can't remember what they call it. It's called something a bit weird. I'll put it up on the screen now, but that's the electronics all in there. We'll talk about why that's all cut in a minute. Now in here you've got a bank of 3 servos, and these move. When the servo moves, they move. Then underneath there, they come out and you've got a selector rod on all 3 of them. Now you'll see that they're not all connected. This one is the steering. This one is the 3-speed gearbox selector. And this one is the speed controller. Now I know some of the purists out there won't like what I've done here, but I've got an electronic speed controller, new receiver in there, and I've disconnected the old speed controller, cut the cables to it and disconnected the motor. And the motor is fed directly, the cables go down up into here from the ESC. Now there's a very good reason why I've done that. I must have spent a good 3 to 4 hours trying to get the original set up. So the original servos with the original transmitter, you can see there you've got, that's how you select your gears. So that would be like first gear, that would be second gear, that would be third, or low, medium, high, and then the steer on that side. Now I did spend a long time trying to set it up, and no matter what I'd done, the selector for the gears just would not go in, or it'd go in and instantly slip out. With selectors here, I've got it locked into 4-wheel drive at the moment, because once I'd got through halfway through the video, all the bumping around and stuff, it kind of knocked it out of sync. So what I'd done was locked it into low 4-wheel drive just to finish the video off. But that's your gear selector. All the way out is permanent 4-wheel drive in low speed, and then the middle one is rear-wheel drive only, like a sort of first gear. And then all the way in is high gear rear-wheel drive. It's pretty fast as well. But no matter what I'd done with the original radio gear, I could not get that to work. And the steering as well, I couldn't trim the steering up properly. And in the end, I admitted defeat and I put some new stuff in. I have kept all this though for obvious reasons. I don't want to get rid of it all because it is all original to the period this was made. I don't know if it's the original radio gear it came with, but that's it. Underneath, again, everything metal, nice metal axles, metal drive shafts, your metal gearbox in there, little skid plate under there, the whole chassis is metal. Overall, a very, very nicely engineered truck. However, pushing down like that, absolutely solid, as you'll see on the video. The performance of it is a bit questionable. The standard wheels came with like plastic inserts. This one didn't come with them, but I've put foams in just to try and soften it up a bit, to give it a little bit more resilience to the rocks and stuff, but it didn't really work. But still, they've got foams in. And something cool on this, just like the original, at the moment you can see that's locked. It's in both wheels going round. I don't know if you can see that. So you pull that out, twist it around, and then you got a freewheeling hub. Very cool design, and it means that when you're running rear wheel drive, these just gives you a bit better turning and stuff, especially when you're on tarmac and that these allows the front wheels to act like a normal diff. Very good design. I didn't use it on this video, just left them locked. One, because I couldn't kind of get it to go forwards very well. It's happy to spin backwards, but I don't know whether they've been put on the wrong way around, because it should really allow it to spin both ways. But anyway, I'll have a look at that maybe at some point. And then finally, before I show you the video, I've been going on a long time already, but there's a lot to look at. There was quite a bit to talk about this. I've only skimmed over it really. I did have a breakage, and it was the little steering arm, the little rod that goes through there, goes down through there onto the bottom and then onto the steering arm. Broke that. Don't know how easy it is to get a replacement of one of them, but yeah, I guess I better start looking. Anyway, let's get into the video now. Like I've said, the first bit is sort of a bit of raw footage of it. You can just see it bumping over the gravel. I went down to the local quarry. Really nice place to run. I've taken quite a few things down there now. There's lots of places to do some rock crawling, lots of places to do some trails. You can see that this thing is definitely interesting over this sort of terrain. If it had softer suspension, if Tamiya had put soft suspension on this to start with, it would have been a whole different level. I think they did drop a ball really by putting that rigid suspension on. You've seen the original videos of it, and it does actually bounce around in the original videos as well, so it's definitely true to form. I've ordered some bruiser ones, going to try them, see if that softens it up. But all in all, it was just nice to get this thing out. 39 years old. It was good to get it out, charge battery up and give it a run and see how we got on. And although it does bounce around everywhere, pretty much nothing stopped it. Most of this video it was only running rear wheel drive. I only selected it on 4-wheel drive nearer the end, and it is really capable. Anything that got in its way just piled through. It's got bags of torque, it's really heavy, The tyres aren't the grippiest, but on that terrain it was pretty good. And yeah, what a cool thing to get out, and the weather played well as well for me, and I had loads of fun and got quite a bit of run time as well. Enjoy the rest of the video. Cheers for watching. Remember, if you like this sort of content, let me know in the comments, and definitely hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I've got plenty more content coming and plenty more Tamiyas.
Going back to my old hometown, picking up the years I leave behind. Getting in my car, I drive as memories fly by. Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could see. Oh, sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Moved a few times but ended up in Nashville. Tried to settle my restless soul. Got a job that felt like forever when I met you. You made me happy, we danced through the night. Life was music and I was your wife. Time flies and the years went by, still I tried. Oh, sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Went for the dream, but I got lost. This house I leave is nothing like us. Chased happiness, ended up on a one-way street. We're leading nowhere, that's why I leave. Past the creek where we used to swim, jump the fence before the summer begins, and getting cool in the summer heat with you, my sweet. Sitting in the back of your car, wishing for this road to take us far. Now I